Guys, how's it going? It's Al, week 16, and usually we do this 5 under 5 video for DraftKings tournaments. It comes out on Saturday morning. We record it on Friday, but the slate kicks off on Saturday, so you get a special Friday afternoon version of the 5 under 5 video where we're going to discuss 5 players that I think that you need to consider for your tournaments this week, although it is a shorter slate. It's a 10-game slate, so I'm not going to change the video. I'm still sticking to the same rules. I have to stay under 5% on each and every one of these players, but I kind of think 10's the number on a 10-game slate. When we have 12, 13, 14 games on a main slate, the larger amount of players, more games, definitely more offensive environments, because this weekend is, you can tell behind me, guys, look, it's snowing, right? This is cold out there. So scoring may be way, way, way down on this slate. And so I think expanding 10% is probably the more optimal route that I'm going to be choosing for my mass multi-entry this week. But here are 5 players that are currently under 5% that I think have tremendous ceilings that we can attack through. Last week, we hit on A.J. Brown. We hit on Jerick McKinnon. We've been doing pretty well this year on this video. I'm shocked with how many hits we've had on a week in, week out basis. But the methodology remains the same. I'm going to give you the 5. You can choose to play them or fade them. It's totally up to you. But thank you guys for being here once again. I wish you the happiest of holidays, a very happy Hanukkah, a very Merry Christmas to you and your families this weekend. Thank you guys for watching every week throughout the season. As always, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and leave me a reply down below with what you want Santa to leave under the tree. And let's go!
He's a legend.
The Smiz Gang Listener League kicks off tomorrow morning, so make sure that you get in there. We got about, 1,250 seats roughly still available at $10, 3 max, absolutely no rake. You got to go to smizzle.tv/links to find the link to the league. It is not a lobby game. You cannot find this game in the DraftKings lobby because then everybody would just join it because there's no rake. So we got to hide it just for you guys. Just for the Smiz Gang, just for you guys who are viewing and listening, watching live on Twitch or watching here on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here again. Go to smizzle.tv/links, join the league, and while you're there, as a Christmas present to me, click everything else and follow me everywhere else. That would also be great. Instagram, TikTok, Al Smizzle Fantasy Football channel, Twitter, all the stuff. Just click all the things. Let's get to the first player. It's EZEKIEL ELLIOTT. He is $6,000, projecting at under 5% this weekend. Touchdowns in every game since week 5. Week 6 he's incredibly consistent. 17, 18.1, 16.5, 17.7, 17.7. They're projected to play from ahead in this game as 5.5-point favorites, as the Eagles are playing without MVP candidate Jalen Hurts. If you're gonna attack the Eagles, now I know that their defensive line has gotten more healthy with Jordan Davis back. They signed Ndamukong Suh and a lot of other people, so you're going to be less efficient than you were for that stretch when Davis was out and people were just running all over them. But Dallas has a very much established an identity around their 2 phenomenal running backs. Now, you could say that Pollard is a better running back than EZEKIEL ELLIOTT, and I have many, many times for the last 2 years. But it's not like EZEKIEL ELLIOTT is dog food. He's still fine and getting more than enough usage and specific usage on inside the 5 carries. He is doubling up Tony Pollard on goal-to-go carries, on carries that originate from inside the 5-yard line. Another double-digit touchdown year for EZEKIEL ELLIOTT, and they still have 3 games to go. So as good as this offense is, and as many points are expected to fall out of this game as are expected to fall out, Zeke still has some juice left in those legs and in that body. He's still got a whole lot of money to collect from Jerry Jones too. But at only 6K, if he has a 2-touchdown game, if he gets us over 20 points, if he bucks this trend of staying between 15 and 18 fantasy points per game, and kind of maybe he breaks off a longer run, maybe something happens, maybe some guys just run into each other and fall down, and he can have a really long gainer for a touchdown. Things can happen. If he does that, and you're on the right side of the math at under 5%, he can certainly do more than enough for you when chalk fails and get you those 8-point days to pay off enough to have a really high floor and that touchdown ceiling that we know that he has. Maybe he'll jump in the Salvation Army bucket for us once again. Deontay Foreman is certainly in play once again this week, and he has frustrated the hell out of guys, specifically against Pittsburgh when they were playing literally anybody else, as he had 0.9 fantasy points in that game. He only run the ball 10 times for 9 yards. Specifically, a very much a boom bust play this week. If you'd rather go with Chuba Hubbard, that's fine with me. He is only 5,300. This is a 5 under 5. Not all of these players. Well, I don't think that Foreman is a great play. Somebody's typing that right now. I don't like Foreman. He's under 5%, and I am bound by specific rules for this video. And so the guys that are under 5%, especially at running back, aren't always going to be the best plays against the best defenses. Now, what is the thing is Detroit has turned into kind of a pass funnel. They've been very tough against opposing running backs. So nobody is playing Deontay Foreman, but they are expecting this offense to do some damage. Carolina, like, actually is in a good position against Detroit, who has amplified opposing offenses all season long. They play at home. The weather isn't terrible in this spot. There is not an impossibility that they score 25 plus real life points in this game. And if Deontay Foreman scores a touchdown and happens to run very well against a defense that has been bend but not break, don't let teams run, force them to throw. It works when you're at home and your offense puts up 30 points. It doesn't work as well when they're on the road and they don't score as much. So Foreman could be a solid play at running back. He is thin. I totally understand that. He is 5,300. He gets you off chalk and provides you an opportunity at touchdown scoring. If you're in the Christmas mood and you wanted to take the last week of the year to try and get 100% tax-deductible donation to No Kid Hungry, go to smizzle.tv/charity. When we get to $50,000 raised, we are currently, as you saw during the opener, at just over 47,000. When we get to $50,000 raised, that will trigger another $10,000 donation match from me. Every single dollar helps. No Kid Hungry provides school breakfast, lunches, as well as at-home care to food insecure kids all across these great United States. So go to smizzle.tv/charity, donate what you can. If you like the content, if you're just in the giving mood because it's the holiday season, or if you've won big as a result of the content, or you need some tax write-offs for this year because you had a great year at work for yourself, please think of the hungry kids. Try and donate a little bit of money. Every dollar helps. If you got 20, if you got 100, if you got 500, that's even better. Let's get to this next match at the very least in the next week before the year is over and get that 10K match for me locked down for No Kid Hungry. I appreciate you guys listening. Stefon Diggs. Now, this game may be windy and this game may be cold, and it's obviously in Chicago, but it's not like Chicago's been a good defense. We have 2 bad weeks for Steph Diggs versus his season averages, averaging 21.9 DraftKings points on the year, 10.7 against Miami, 6.7 against the Jets, who are very good against outside wide receivers with their 2 highly graded PFF cornerbacks. However, Chicago not as good on the outside, and nobody's playing him. We've said this for a while, that when players trend downward in terms of their fantasy points, see, there's Battle Fader coming in for $20. See, thank you for the donation. No Kid Hungry. I really appreciate that. It says, happy holidays, feed the kids. That's what we do here. 99 catches. He'll break 100 this week. He'll also get over 1,300 yards receiving. When everybody is jumping off the train in tournaments, that's when I want to jump back on, especially with a high profile alpha wide receiver like Steph Diggs, with an MVP caliber quarterback who is as good as Josh Allen is. Do you want to bet against Steph Diggs? Because I kind of don't. And if he's going to be under 5%, that's exactly when I want to get on board. I understand it's windy there. He has a quarterback that can play in wind. I understand it's cold. He has a quarterback that's performed 30 plus fantasy days in the cold. He is one of the leaders in the league in terms of end zone targets, red zone usage, targets overall, yards, receptions, everything. Under 5% this week. So I want to buy when everyone else is selling. T. Higgins, this whole offense isn't highly projected this week. Not on points per game, not on ceiling, but nobody's Joe Burrow is not projecting as one of the top values on the slate. Jamar Chase projecting as one of the top ceiling and median play guys, but his salary is high. And T. Higgins is at 7K. They've kind of got the Miami Dolphins treatment with Hill, Waddle, Tua, where it just feels like people don't want to spend up to play this combination, but it's not like it can't go off any week. And it's also not like New England is the type of team that has stopped opposing passing attacks. They're just middle of the league in terms of defensive efficiency against opposing quarterbacks, against opposing passing games. They've allowed middling on touchdowns, middling on yards. They've been very good against opposing running backs this year, but you can get them through the air. And if any team can attack through the air, it is certainly the Cincinnati Bengals. And we may see a little bit more of a lean into that with their shotgun only offense this week against a team that has been very stingy against the run, to lean into that and say, look, if they're going to act like a pass funnel, we'll let them act like a pass funnel. And if you can get T. Higgins at sub 5, which I believe you can, and you can get Jamar Chase at around 10, I think he's projecting somewhere between 9 and 11%. Burrow doubles look sick, even though they don't project at a high price per dollar standpoint. If Burrow has 27 fantasy points on this type of week schedule, or this week's type of schedule, I should say. This right words, wrong order. You could have the best low percentage, high ceiling stack on the week, and nobody in tournaments is going to have it. Hell, you could bring it back with Ramondre Stevenson and get yourself a pass catching running back. Maybe I shouldn't have told you all that, because that seems almost too good to be true, and I'm going to have some shares of that across my 150 in the Millionaire Maker. So congratulations to you for finding out something that I'm going to do this week. And Brandon AIYUK is going to round us off here against Washington at 6,300. No Deebo Samuel. That means more possible usage, more red zone usage, more end zone usage, not just for Brandon AIYUK, who is projecting under 5%, I believe at around 3%, but George Kittle, as well as Christian McCaffrey. A 3-headed monster is better than a 4-headed monster. Now, I know that did not pan out the last 2 weeks with 4 targets against Seattle, 3 targets against Tampa Bay, but he's under 5. He definitely has a 25-point ceiling possible, even though he only averages 12.8 fantasy points per game. Purdy has done very well in the absence of Jimmy Garoppolo. He has looked competent, which really is all you need at the quarterback position when you have the weapons and the scheme that San Francisco has. He has been Mr. Competent, let's say Purdy has at quarterback. So that's going to round off our top 5. Thank you guys for being here. Go to smizzle.tv/charity, drop a couple bucks on the kids, drop a like on the video. I appreciate y'all being here. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you win a ton of money this week. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.